Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to test out some Jello Jello products. I do have some almond tips here. I'm not going to use them because they do not fit my nails. And some 1 kill liquid with the peel off base. I bought this product at least a year ago. I tried it once on the thumb, but I did not have that success with it. So I'm going to test it out once more on a set of nails. I'm also going to test it out on my other hand that you will not see. And let's see how this goes. This package comes with these orange wood sticks, the peel off base and the 1 kill liquid. Like I said, the 1 kill liquid it looks like cuticle oil, but it's not. It's more like watery consistence. But the ingredients is Korean, so I don't know. I might look it up. And this here is something called a tip of gel. It sounds weird, and it is kind of weird. I have tried it out, this one as well, but I'm going to do this in another video. I have another idea for this. And this is the Jello Jello's regular base coat. This video will be quite long. That is why I also at the end will show you how I remove these tips with this 1 kill liquid. And I'm going to use an air drying peel off base. I was debating on using either the Born Pretty one or the Hunt one. And for the tips I'm going to use Infill 1, 2, 3 Go soft gel tips in coffin shape. So I'm just placing them out, and I'm just going in and buff my nails. I've already done an e-file manicure, so I'm just going over with the buffer. My nails are pretty thin and damaged already, so I'm going to be very gentle to my nails from now on. And I also am just shaping off the free edges, rounding them off with this hand file. And I'm going to use Nails Prep and Primer today. First, of course, use the dehydrator, and then the primer. And then I'm using the Born Pretty Store's peel off base. This is the air drying one, and I'm applying it to the center of the nail. Since I had a really thin layer of gel still left on my nails here, I did not want the peel off base coat to stick to my gels underneath. So then I'm going in with this Jello Jello peel off base. I'm just applying a very thin layer because my intentions was to make these nails last as long as I needed them to last, for about 1, 2, 3 weeks. So cure this for 1 minute. And I'm going to use this flash curing light, and I'm going in with the e-file and buff up the surface underneath the tips. And do not mind my thumb here. This is a complete disaster. Please do just ignore it, will you, for this video. I did use the tip-off gel and it was a disaster, but I will get back to this in another video later on. And then I just dust off the tips and apply a primer inside before I apply them to the nails, to my nails. And I'm using Couture's press-on gel and applying a thin layer where my nail bed is going to be, and then just a little bit more at the end. And when you're applying these tips, you want to press them down in a 45-degree angle and pushing it down so the gel just floats to the free edge of your nail bed, not not the extended tip. And then finish cure this in an UV lamp or in an LED lamp. While I'm flash curing my tips, I intentionally hold my hand or my finger over the free edge. This is because if you get some spilling underneath, it is still wet after the flash curing and you can just remove it with a damp brush. So that's a little hack for you guys. Keep your finger over the wet gel. As you can see, I'm placing the tips with a distance from my cuticles. This is to do the overlay method, but these tips here was I guess the first one that Max Estrada came out with, so they are kind of designed to change them and soak them off at least after an infill. But when you're doing this overlay method, you already are in this infill era of the growing out. I have no idea how to explain this, but the tips are applied like this is already an infill, so the structure, it can be a little bit off, and especially when I am going to file them into an almond. And filing pre-shaped coffin tips into an almond is not very recommended. Pre-shaped plastic tends to keep its shape as long as the structure is there, but when the structure is gone, it will flatten out. So I did experience this for sure, and I was not happy with the shape and the lack of structure. But as you can see, I'm going around with my sanding band bit, and this sanding band bit is just almost like melting the tip into the base. So when you're using this e-file to melt or soften down the edges, make sure not to file through and into the base layer, because you want that base layer there when you want to peel these up again. So then I go in with the hand file and just buff the whole surface, and again be sure not to file into the base layer. And after this, I am going in with my hand file and rounding off the corners and try to make it into an almond shape. And this is where I realized my mistake. It just flattened out and I did not like the shape of this. So I cannot ask you to ignore it, because I cannot ignore it. But at least they are short, so yeah. It doesn't need that huge structure as long as they are shorter. So clean up, and I'm going in with Madam Glam's Builder in a Bottle. The clear, it is called Pure Serenity, I guess. And you will see me apply the Builder Gel close to the cuticles to make that infill and strengthen a little bit of the structure. I think I lost some footage here at the end, so you will only see me do this to 2 of these fingers. I either forgot to press record or the footage is lost somewhere. And of course, cure this for actually just 30 seconds. This soak-off gel cures for 30 seconds. So it is time for some design and colors. I did buy some yogurt colors. This is a beautiful green that I used late autumn or early winter, and these colors was suitable for that part of the year, but yeah. And this is a cream color. I'm not going to use it, I'm just going to show you this. If you want a link, it will be down in the description box. And we are going to use this blue. It's like a dusty blue. I really like this. I really like the consistency of these gels as well. And this is a peachy nude one. I am not going to use this either. And the brand of these are all Vendeni, but it was written in Chinese on the other bottles. And I'm going to use this holographic cat eye gel as well, and the link will be down below. And I'm going to start with the base coat on all the nails. It is not necessary, but I think personally that it makes the gel polish application looking better and easier to apply. I have started to like and enjoy shorter nails lately. We'll see how long that lasts. And I'm using Madam Glam's I Do. This is also kind of a peachy nude. It had a little bit more peachy look. No, it had a little bit more coral tint to it. And it just felt better in my mind to use this. I could have used, of course, the nude Vendeni color, but but when you have two different colors to choose from, you go with the ones that give you the right feeling at the time, and this one did. So yeah, and I'm applying 3 layers to my nails, no, to my thumb and my middle finger. It didn't need 3 layers, but for this design I wanted 3 layers. I really love Madam Glam's more yogurt colors as well, and I wish that they can come up with a lot more collections like this. And I'm going in with the blue one and also apply 3 coats of this. I think I'm only going to show you 1 or 2 coats here, and I go back in and apply the 3rd layer later on because I hadn't decided yet if I wanted 2 or 3 layers. That's why it was some back and forward between the nails. And the green one on my index finger, same here I guess. 2 layers in the first round and going back to apply the 3rd layer. I really liked how these gels applied and blended. They were really easy to work with, and these types of gels are so easy to marble as well. And yeah, the 3rd layer on the pinky. I had these colors and these gels in mind and this design in mind for weeks and weeks, ever since I ordered these gels, so it had been brewing inside my mind. Yeah, I was dead set on doing this, even on these short nails. And cure, and the 3rd layer on the index finger. And I'm going to use some of these gels from Madam Glam, the Moondust and the High Vibration, So the names will also be here when I'm applying it to the palette, if you want the names. I was not sure which of them I was going to use, so I just applied different types of glitters to my palette so I could see which of those who worked out best on my nail. And I'm going in with a gray, blue-gray color on one side on my thumb and the green on the other side. I did the same to the middle finger. I really like the outcome of this design on my thumb. I did not like the outcome on my middle finger. The nail looked so wide and so flat. Oh, I almost feel embarrassed to show you because this, yeah, it did not turn out good. So I am actually not sure if I'm going to cut it out from this video or not, because I did not like it. And I'm doing the exact same thing to the design on the thumb here as I did to my middle finger. So you will see if I leave it in or not. Adding the colors on the sides of the nail made them even more wide and flat looking. And as you can see, I was so into this design that I forgot to stay in the middle of the frame. I'm so sorry. This is not the last time that I will be on the outskirts of this viewfinder. I am just going to say sorry for this throughout this whole video. And I'm going to use 3 different matte top coats actually. Madam Glam, Real Birds, and this one I will write the name on the screen. I add Madam Glam's matte top coat to my thumb, Real Bird on my middle finger, and this last one to my ring finger. That is because I wanted to see if there was some difference between the matte top coats, since I'm going to apply the gold chrome powder, and I wanted to see if the powder would adhere less to one of these top coats, but it didn't. And I'm using Inalcotor's Wonder Gel. It's a top gel. It is very thick in consistency, same with the Jellyfit top coat here. That is why I'm going to try out 2 different types of top coats, see if one worked different than the other, but no, they were the same. So I'm just doing some thin squiggly lines on the edge of this blue and green color. And once that is cured, I'm rubbing in the powder over this top coats. And as you can see, this powder did stick to the matte top coat. So I will going over again with the thin liner and the top coat on top of the thin lines that I already have painted on. Yeah, there are several ways to do this metal lines or metal design, but I chose this one. So going painfully slow over my previous lines, and when I'm curing this, I'm just going to wipe off the excess chrome, and you end up with some gold chrome lines. And I am so sorry for not staying in the frame, and also the focus. The focus is also pretty bad, but I hope that you get kind of the idea of what I'm doing here. I was so deep into this design. And rub off the chrome. And again, I did the same to my middle finger and rubbing the chrome into the nail, and go over again with top coat. Oh, I'm so sorry about the lack of focus here. on the ring finger I did use Madam Glam's frosting gel. It's a 3D gel. And I forgot to press record, and so I just made some squiggly line on the right side of the nail, and I'm just also rubbing this chrome in here, and the gold chrome looks so much better on this frosting gel than on my top coat. And I go over with the top coat only over the frosting gel. And cure this and wipe it all away again. And I was really happy with this. And then I'm going in with the holographic cat eye gel on the pinky. And when this is applied, I go in, of course, with magnet, just bringing out the shine along the edges. And then I'm gonna use the small magnet here and swirl it over and towards the tip. That creates a French look. And I apply the same cat eye gel only at the tip of my index finger. I just wanted it to shine at the tip of this nail. And just blending it in before I activate the cat eye or the iron bits inside with the magnet. There's a lot of steps in this design. I wanted like a half moon on one side. And then I'm using some of the glitter gels on this left corner near the cuticle area. Well, I also blended with a grayish glitter just to get it right in my head. And I also apply some glitter here and there inside these squiggly lines just to add some glitters and sparks here and there. And I'm also customizing and blending my glitters. It feels so much better to blend them and just use one of these glitters. It's all making sense in my mind. And I'm mixing and blending. And same on the thumb, some glitter here and there, mixing and blending. And cure these nails when I'm finished doing that. And over to the bling, I'm just applying bow ends, some bling here and there around the bow, but I had to cut that out because I was totally out of frame. And just some dots here and there with this rhinestone gel, and apply some studs, small studs here and there. I use a lot of time to decide if I'm going to use this small size or an even smaller size. Sometimes I remove stuff and add bigger or smaller. Yeah, it needs to be right in my mind whenever I look at the nails after I'm done. So I actually just blinging out the nails as I see fit. And I forgot to take, or I didn't take very good pictures of these nails, so the finished result is not on tape, and I just have a couple of pictures to show you. So I hope you get an idea of how they looked. So they are almost finished here, and I will show you how I remove them 3 weeks later. Actually, I think I actually had them on longer, 3.5 weeks, and there was no lifting at all. I was like, when are these going to pop off? But at the end I just had to remove them. And these beads had to stay in the right place, moving them around and finding a place for them. And I guess I'm finished. And I'm adding the top coat, of course. And I'm not going to show this top coat application, so here are the pictures. And then I go in with the 1Q liquid and spray it or dab it or drop it onto my cuticle area and the side walls. This is very watery, a lot more watery consistency than cuticle oil, so it runs away much faster than oil would have done. I waited about 5-10 minutes before I go in and try to find a pocket, try to lift up nails. It felt weird. It felt so wrong in my head to do this, and before this started to loosen, it was very it did not feel good, and it took a lot longer to remove this than anticipated, because I did not want to ruin my natural nails, but you will see they still got ruined. So I'm jamming up the sides. I'm trying to show you a little bit more in depth how I remove this, a little bit more in depth than other videos I've seen, because it looks so easy. Believe me, it's not. But here it pops up. There it is. And my natural nails got very soft when using this liquid, so I'm not sure how smart it is to apply another enhancement product right after this removal part, because the nails are so saturated with this liquid. And here I did see some loose things on my nail plate, and I had to lift it up, and it was my natural nail. It had ripped up a huge part of my natural nail. I'm almost certain that I had a thin layer of gel on my nail plate before I applied this peel-off base, so it could be the reason for ripping off my nail. So I'm going to try it, or I have tried it a couple of times after this, and it gets better, but not that much. It's still a process, but it's up to you if you prefer this method or not, or if you prefer to soak them off, or to file and soak them off. And like you can see, my natural nails are so damaged. almost like half of the nail plate. Some of my natural nail also came off on my ring finger, as you can see here. Ooh, this feels so wrong to lift up this nail like this. And I'm just waiting and trying not to hurt anything. Yeah, I'm just going to say be careful. Be careful when doing this. Let the liquid do its thing and do not rip these tips off before they start to lift. I'm using probably way too much liquid. It's not going to last a lot if you use too much liquid. And this is also soon finished, so I'm just going to say thank you for watching, everyone. And I will see you in another video, hopefully really soon. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.